Hey everybody. Sorry I haven't been on in a few days. Haven't been feeling the best. Haven't been doing the best. Of course, it's always nice to know that once you come back, other people have had it a hell of a lot worse in the form of another mass shooting, this time in Monterey Park, California. Confirmed mass shooting in area of Garfield Garvey at Monterey Park. No confirmation on exact number of victims, but they're being taken to multiple hospitals with multiple dead. Reports now up to 10 dead. This was during the Lunar New Year event. Lunar New Year is a huge celebration, especially for the Chinese. Over in China, Lunar New Year is such a huge event that people over there in China, mind you, get up to a month off in celebration of the Lunar New Year. I think it's when they pass over the year of the particular animal. Each year is represented by a different animal. It's like their version of Zodiac. I, for example, was born in the year of the monkey. And I think that this past year was the year of the rabbit, and they passed it over to year of the tiger, but I'm not exactly sure on that. Anyway, there's been a shooting in California during AAPI Lunar New Year events. That's the Association or Americans of Asian and Pacific Islander background. All that I've been able to find is that so far it's 10 dead confirmed. Jesus, what a train wreck the U.S. has become. Literally zero legislation to combat this issue. There's going to be about zero meaningful legislations passed the next 2 years at all when you have Republicans in charge of the House and just proposing all their nonsense that has no chance of making it through the Senate. Lots of legislation in California. We can't legislate our way out of this one. Our society is sick to its core and will have to be rebuilt from the ground up. What law will stop some people from wanting to kill others because they're different? Who the hell do you trust to enforce such laws? Not having 3 guns per person would be a great start. Seems to work literally everywhere else. The guns are the problem. Yeah, people in other countries still want to hurt other people, but the difference is they usually can only grab a knife. It's a lot harder to go on a mass stabbing spree than it is to straight up walk into a club and instantly shoot about 100 people in the head. It's the problem whether it's too late or not. Very obvious what the problem is, and what do we do about it? Well, give cops more power and more weapons to kill minorities, obviously. I get the slight feeling the U.S. is not quite there to change anything. I'm not from the USA, and I'm glad my country doesn't allow firearms. But a Forbes article I read stated 18 million were sold in 2021 alone. How would you even manage to remove the guns from that year alone? Well, they do have things like permits and registrations, or at least they're supposed to. Crimes skyrocket when people are disarmed and governments overpower and slaughter them. Yeah, because that doesn't happen already, right? Yeah, get out of here. I want to check this news thing.
Welcome back to CNN this morning. We are anticipating word from law enforcement at any moment, an update on this deadly mass shooting in Monterey Park, California. It appears that law enforcement is approaching the microphone as we speak right now. At least 9 people killed there, Emra.
Yeah, let's listen in.
Hey, good evening, everybody. I'm Captain Andrew Meyer from Sheriff's Homicide. I'm here to talk to you about the mass shooting incident that occurred here in the city of Monterey Park. This evening, or last night actually, at approximately 10:22 p.m., officers from the Monterey Park Police Department responded to a local business in the 100 block of West Garvey Avenue in the city of Monterey Park regarding a shots fired call. When officers arrived on scene, they observed numerous individuals, patrons of the location, pouring out of the location, screaming. The officers made entry to the location and located additional victims. The Monterey Park Police Fire Department responded to the scene and treated the injured and pronounced 10 of the victims deceased at the scene. There were at least 10 additional victims that were transported to numerous local hospitals and are listed in various conditions from stable to critical. The suspect fled the scene and remains outstanding. Anyone with information regarding this incident, we're asking them to call LA Sheriff's Homicide at 323-890-5500, or if you prefer to remain anonymous, you can call Crime Stoppers at 800-222-8477. Homicide Bureau is working closely with Chief Scott Weiss and his agency at the Monterey Park Police Department. We're working with the California Governor's Office of Emergency Services, the Federal Bureau of Investigation LA office, and numerous other law enforcement agencies. With that, I'll take a limited amount of questions, if anybody. No, sir. As far as motive goes, it's too early in the investigation to know what the motive is. No, sir, not at this time. No description on the suspect at this time. All I can tell you is that it was a firearm that was used, and no other information on as far as the firearm right now. The suspect is outstanding, that's correct.
Any indication of going off the time, so that the scene around this
The location is there was a ballroom. It's like a ballroom dance location.
Kathy, was there a second location as well?
We're aware of an incident that occurred in Alhambra, and we have investigators on scene trying to determine if there's a connection between these two incidents.
Any indication, Captain, that there may have been video inside the place itself, not phones and things like that, like actual video of the ballroom when it happened?
So the investigators are working every lead on this case. Obviously, we have all our resources here, a limited amount of resources. We have resources from various law enforcement agencies. We're reviewing all surveillance video, any surveillance video, following all leads, so we're not going to leave anything unturned.
How the suspect got away? By car, by foot, do you know?
No, not at this time. It's preliminary. We will have more information. As more information becomes available regarding the suspect, we'll put that information out to you guys. Yes, sir. We have 10 that are deceased at the scene, and an additional, we believe, at least 10 at local hospitals. Everywhere, anywhere from critical to stable.
Captain, I know you said no motive is known, but do you think that the suspect may have known the victims? Is there any connection there that you know of?
As far as the suspect knowing any of the victims, it's too early in the investigation. We do not know that information at this time. We don't know if it's targeted.
Do we know anything about the victims, how old they are, who they are?
No, we don't know how old they are. I'll just take 2 more questions, and that's it. We will update you guys further. This is just a preliminary briefing. We're going to have a lot more information to share with you in the future, in the coming hours.
Covered at that second location, we heard reports that possibly civilians had disarmed a possible suspect.
That's something that we're investigating, and we'll have additional information about that. We will look at every angle. As far as whether it's a hate crime or not, it's just too early in the investigation to know whether this incident was a hate crime or not.
Is the festival canceled tomorrow, or is it still going on?
I'm going to have the chief answer that question. Chief?
Sure. The festival that occurred Saturday also extended to Sunday. Out of an abundance of caution and in reverence for the victims, we are canceling the event that's going to happen later today. So the Lunar Festival here in Monterey Park has been canceled.
Just 2 more questions.
Do we know if anyone was injured at that second shooting?
No, not that I'm aware of. I'm not sure if there's any injuries or not. We're still investigating. One other question? Within the next few hours. Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
Can you say your name for me?
Sure. Andrew Meyer?
Could you spell Meyer?
Sure. Meyer. All right. Captain, LA Sheriff's Homicide. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, so we just heard an update from the LA County Sheriff's Department. So the new numbers, and I hate to say numbers because these are humans, these are people who had lives, 10 people dead in this mass shooting in Monterey Park, California. This is just east of Los Angeles, a suburb there. We know that there are 10 additional victims, according to police, who have been taken to the hospital. Their injuries ranging, just taking the range, some in stable, some in critical condition. And we know that there is a suspect, the gunman, who is now on the run.
Yep.
Location is...
There's a suspect. Don't name him, though. I don't know. Terrifying that he is still at large. As a resident of the area, I think I'm going to avoid crowded public places for at least a few days. Speechless, brutal and heartbreaking day for Asian Americans. It's supposed to be a day of happiness and reunion with family. Some survivors may never celebrate Lunar New Year anymore. I drove through that area tonight. Very sorry to the American people that this continues to happen. My heart breaks for the families of those that were murdered. Sad when you wake up in the morning and see this again. Mass shootings are becoming a norm in America. They are a norm. Here we go again. Why does this keep happening? Can't comprehend the evil it takes to do something like this. This has to stop. The fact it's so common is maddening and sickening. Killed 10 so far and on the loose. And on Lunar New Year weekend. The victims look like grandparents. Cowardly act to attack elderly people. Hate crime written all over it. Well, duh. Something like this happens and you don't automatically attribute it to a hate crime, a racial-based hatred. Watching from Poland, and yet again, a tragedy like this in your country. It's normal like eating breakfast, and it's crazy. Bring back the death sentence, put fear in the killer's hearts. Well, considering all the past mass shootings, I give it a 50-50 shot. He'll off himself before anybody can capture him. But of course, after they find his manifesto and he's identified, he's going to want everyone to know who he is. That much is for damn sure.
We are continuing to follow breaking news out of Monterey Park. 10 people are dead, at least 10 others injured in the hospital this morning following a deadly mass shooting.
Detectives tell us that a suspect opened fire inside a ballroom dance center before fleeing the scene, and he is still on the loose this morning. KTLA's Erin Myers is live in Monterey Park with how this tragedy is rattling the community. Good morning, Erin.
Good morning to you both. We actually drove around looking for open businesses this morning, my photographer and I, and we stopped at several, and most of the people we spoke with had not heard about what happened. When we told them, they were just shocked, heartbroken. Two people that we talked to, local business owners, said that this dance studio was very popular with the local community. And you can see here, we are on West Garvey right now, just a couple of blocks from where our Annie Rose Ramos is. This is near Baltimore. Now, the shooting happened at this ballroom dance studio on the 100 block of West Garvey Avenue near Garfield a short time after 10 last night. When officers arrived on scene, they saw numerous people pouring out of the dance studio screaming. When they went inside, they located additional victims. According to the LA Times, a man who owns a seafood barbecue restaurant said 3 people rushed into his restaurant and told him to lock the door. They told the owner there was a man with a semi-automatic gun in the area and that he had multiple rounds of ammunition on him, and once he ran out, he would reload. This once again according to the LA Times. Now, it does appear the dance studio hosts an event on Saturday nights that goes from 8 to 11:30. That was on their website. People we spoke to in this area, though, just shocked to hear about what happened.
It's normally like a very family oriented.
have seen posts online. The mayor of Alhambra writing, "I am in a state of shock, heartbreak, and devastation. A mass shooting has occurred in our neighboring city of Monterey Park. Our thoughts and prayers are with the victims and their loved ones. Our community stands ready to do whatever we can to support all those impacted." She also wrote, "To have this tragedy occur, most did not know."
First thing you can do is drop the thoughts and prayers bullshit. You know, making sure you're on record saying the right thing gets easier and easier when events like these become more and more common. I'm really getting tired of hearing the thoughts and prayers bullshit. The new mayor has certainly turned the city around. Good job, Karen. You do know that she is not the mayor of Monterey Park, don't you? They have their own mayor. Why is there no description of the suspect? How is anyone supposed to alert police if they see the suspect and don't know what he looks like? Why won't the news give a description? This is putting the public in danger when he's at large. Exactly, so many people were there and they refused to give a description. Usually it means one thing. Because it was an inside job, why don't people get it? Look at the timing. There are new laws being debated right now. What the F is going on these days? Way too common. I am getting tired of hearing that too. Way too common. What's wrong with people? Who's to blame for this? Thoughts and prayers. You know what's becoming way too common these days? People saying that it's becoming way too common to have mass shootings. People giving thoughts and prayers. Republicans saying this isn't the time to talk about guns. You just want to score political points. That's what's becoming way too common. That's the first thing that needs to stop. When it comes to this shit. You know, maybe we can enact a whole lot of big change in little ways. First thing you do, shut up with the thoughts and prayers. Don't give thoughts and prayers. Get off your ass and do something. Volunteer. Form a search party. Start pooling your money together. I would like to see something enacted where you don't want to get rid of the guns, you don't want to do anything to actually help. It's going to cost you. These people's funerals should be taken care of. The burden should be placed on you. All their final expenses should be paid for. Your responsibility when something like this happens. Payouts to the family, everything these people need. And when I say need, I mean financially. Should be on you. How quickly do you think people will jump once their wallets are impacted? We don't have to do anything when it comes to the guns themselves or the politics itself. Here's an idea. Make them pay for it. Then see how quickly things start to change. enact a local law. This doesn't need to be anything that goes through Congress. It can be a local law. It can be something the people demand directly as the result of this shit going on in this country. Let them sign petitions. Let them force their local authorities to follow through with it. We want to be safe, and we don't want empty platitudes if and when something finally happens. So we're going to make this really easy on you. We're not going to talk about guns. We're not going to talk about mental health. We're not going to talk about race. We're not going to try to score political points. We're going to expect that you pay. You are responsible for paying for everything. Then you'll see how quick things change. This could be your solution right here. This could be your actual answer. Everybody knows this shit. Everybody's always known it. People's safety doesn't mean anything. Children don't mean anything. Racial and ethnic national pride doesn't mean anything. Progressive thought and events don't mean anything. Communities don't mean anything. Relationships don't mean anything. People's politics don't mean anything. What this country means, freedom and, safety, all that crap people want to look to the Constitution for when it comes to how safe they are, what they're allowed to do. It doesn't mean anything, okay? Money is what means something in the United States. Money is all that means anything to people in the United States. So I say you can stop this in one fell swoop. Force them to pay for it. Force them to foot the bill. Any time there is a shooting, especially a mass shooting. This place right here, Monterey Park, this local township, or maybe even just the state of California. Now you have to pay for everything. All right? You don't want to come to a working agreement. You want to find a solution. This shit keeps happening. We've got plenty of precedent to base this on. It's very simple. Force them to pay for it. Now you have 10 funerals you have to pay for. Now you have burial costs. Now you have compensation packages to give the families. Now you have grave sites to purchase, burial plots. Now you have traffic control to worry about. Now you have a hearse to pay for times 10. You hit them where it really, really hurts. No matter where you are in this country, no matter which political side you're on. Hit them right in their fucking wallet, and you'll see shit start to get done. You'll see shit start to change pretty damn quick in this country. When people are held financially responsible. I shit you not, I'm telling you right now, that may be the only way to stop any of this. Imagine how simple this could actually be. You get some real change once you start hitting them up for change.
for everything like this that happens. And these people, I'm sure they'll be way more than happy to say right out loud, we don't care how much money this takes out of your budget. Isn't it just convenient, by the way? The places where a lot of these counties and townships can cut corners when it comes to this type of thing is out of the police budget. These overinflated, overpaid cops. Mass shooting happens, you force them to pay for it all, they'll have to make up that cost by taking money where they can. They're not going to want to take a pay cut. You watch them roll right the fuck over on their cops. Problem fixes itself. I'm telling you, this could work. This could be it. So, I'll be right back. Ban all criminals. Okay. They're called criminals for a reason, dude. Crime is already illegal. That's why they call it crime. Left Behind, Rise of the Antichrist. The sequel takes place 6 months after the rapture and sets the stage for the coming 7 years of tribulation, apocalypse, and the ultimate return of Christ. Get tickets now. Didn't American Dad already do this? I believe American Dad did this in their apocalypse episode. No, I'm saving my money to get tickets for Cocaine Bear. Pretty sure the bear's acting will be better than Kevin's. I'd pay to see Cocaine Bear eat Sorbo. Ew. We don't want him to get sick now. As well you should. Cocaine Bear paid way more than Kevin. You gotta spend money to make money, you know. The pay difference makes sense because only one of them has natural talent. Let's see if he can beat Gina Carano's record-breaking $804 movie. Left Behind is the fitting title since everyone left Sorbo behind in 1998. Like an STD, sometimes it takes a lot to get rid of Kevin Sorbo. Cena was awesome, and he played Hercules. Yeah, but now he plays generic Christian conservative number 3. Hey, I was born in 97. I only know Sorbs as the God's Not Dead atheist professor. Oh my God. Back then, it was far harder to share your BS, so it was also harder for the public to know about your BS. A lot of people stayed far under the radar for a long time because of it. Left Behind is the perfect term for any conservative. It's got the A-list of Z actors in it. Don't you put that evil on Corbin Burnson, 329. Don't you dare, cries. Is Corbin crazy or just needing work? I liked him as an actor. I know he's not A-list anymore, but I thought he was better than this. He's very religious. And there's your answer. Where's Kirk Cameron? He wasn't Z-list enough to be considered for a role. My main cast is Kevin Sorbo, Corbin Burnson, Brendan Sorbo. What else has 3 orbs in it? 666. This is how they get you. Hey, that's really cool. That's a nice thing that you can make a point of on Twitter. You know, do the Uno reverse thing on them. Based on a true story. That only means it's true that it's based on a story. The best part about based on a true story is that this hasn't even happened yet. And it probably never will. So this is what happens when they don't even let you do movies on Lifetime and the Hallmark Channel. My favorite dumb evangelical movie anecdote is Kirk Cameron playing a shitty husband who uses the Bible to strengthen his marriage. One of his flaws was that the role was written that he was an internet porn addict, but Cameron objected to that, even portrayed in a negative, harmful light. So it was changed to an obsession to shopping online for the perfect boat for hours while ignoring his family. They barely changed the script beyond swapping out porn addiction to boating addiction. So he came off as some creeper weirdo with a bizarre fetish for boats. Oh, God. Kevin Sorbo is the Antichrist? Fitting. The Antichrist will be a CGI Scorpion King with Fauci's face on it. Guaranteed the storyline will involve some vaccine that turns people into servants of the Antichrist, and only the pure unvaccinated can fight him and assure their way into heaven's second rapture. That is ridiculous right there. Ay. I watched the trailer, so you don't have to. Antagonist is literally a Joe Biden clone named Brandon. His evil plan is giving money to poor people. All the good Christians know poor people should starve. Giving money to poor people? Jesus would never do that. At this point, they could probably get the real Trump for the role. Yes, indeedy. Damien Dark has gone over too? Come on, man. Damien Dark. There's actually an actor who calls himself Damien Dark. Holy shitty movie, Batman. This is personally painful. I read every single one of these books a dozen times back in the church days. Loved them. They were dearer to me than even Harry Potter is to a kid. Then I fell out of the church, consequently fell out with the books, and to see that Kevin Sorbo is involved with the movie adaptations, damn. I realized a few years ago that everything wasn't what I thought, but this... I found those books an interesting piece of fiction, and always been a sucker for modern day fantasy. looking at modern politics, he was trying way too hard to look like a nice guy. He just needed to sell hats. Left Behind also describes his career. Go watch The Rapture instead. Those books are seriously weird and poorly written. Like Dan Brown got religious and churned out a franchise series. Or some Bible bashers tried to do their version of Tech War. Excellent. I can update my shitty humans and acting list. Oh, thank you. I'd rather put my balls through a wood chipper than watch 5 minutes of that. So let me guess. The hero will be a straight white dude. And the Antichrist will be the complete opposite. My parents had me read the book. Funnily enough, both are straight white dudes because the Antichrist is supposed to appear as someone everybody would naturally trust, which according to American Christians is a straight white male. I wouldn't be surprised if Kevin decides to change that bit around. They keep making these movies, somehow not seeing, that it ain't gonna happen. The first book came out back in like 1995. Okay, here come the religious freaks. I don't want to hear this shit. Aw. I think I know that one dude too. Why do Republicans repeatedly cut taxes for the top, bankrupt us, and drive staggering deficits? To hurt the economy, then lie, blame Democrats, and say we can't afford Social Security and Medicare. Fox ensures, minions believe. It's called Starve the Beast. Since 2020, for every dollar the bottom 90% have gained, billionaires have gained 1.7 million. That is insane. When you argue that fascists should be defeated through debate, what you're actually saying is that vulnerable people, minorities, should have to endlessly argue for their right to exist, and at no point should the debate be considered over and won. That is really, really, really cool that he said that. Oh yeah, this footage that's supposed to be coming out of the latest cop-induced murder. Can't wait for that edited piece of shit to hit media waves. Oh yeah. The Diamond and Silk funeral. I had read that they got this huge freaking theater or stadium or something that can seat like 2,500 people at least, and only like 100 people showed up, including Trump, and so they would not film the audience. Big surprise, the woman that dropped out of high school didn't pay attention to what her teachers were saying. Growing up, I don't recall teachers announcing their marital status and pronouns to everyone. They're there to educate. How is this still a complaint of the left? That's the first thing any teacher writes on the damn chalkboard on the first day of class. How they are to be addressed. As in, I am Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so. How fucking dumb is this woman? How much dumb can we tolerate before something is done? We saw your skin from across the bar. We'd love to turn it into a jacket. Gross. Ugh. That woman's always looked like the crypt keeper. She's creepy to me. But that dude? Is that plastic surgery or makeup? And in which case, look at the tooth to gum ratio there. He looks like a damn ventriloquist dummy. His teeth are still loading. Looks like someone who photoshopped their smiles, which is making it look more appalling and stranger. Ugh. Ugh. God. Okay, I'm done with this. I am done. Egg prices are up 60%. That's absurd. People are paying upwards of $6 and $7 for a dozen eggs. Why? Corporate greed. Cal, Maine, the largest egg producer in the United States, is raking record profits. $198 million just in its latest quarter. That's a 65% increase from a year ago. Ah. Ew, I don't want to see mushrooms sporing. Monterey Park shooting at the Lunar New Year celebration. Brutal beating death of Tyree Nichols in Memphis by 5 cops, even though they were immediately fired. Shooting of environmental activist Manuel Terran and subsequent protests in Atlanta. This country is hell. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, hold them financially responsible. You'll see this shit start to stop pretty damn quick. Ew. I was taught in church that gay people were sinners and bad people. Now that I know gay people, they treat me far better than anyone from a church ever has. The church is the problem in this country, not gay people. Gross. Yeah, this is one of the things that really sucks about Reddit. You get garbage like this. Look at these two slightly different shaped matches. Ugh. Growing a chickie in an open egg? I don't want to see that. Latest mass shooting that America is waking up to claimed 10 lives and injured 10 more at the Lunar New Year celebration at Monterey Park, California. Land of the free to murder with assault weapons. This guy needs a thorough ass kicking. Both of the women in this photograph have done more positive for people in the world than this shithead could ever dream of doing. It's a sad, sad world where people who are really strong, really heroic, are just attacked like that. There's just something seriously wrong. Seriously something wrong with people in this country. Disposable paper phones for one-time use only. Yeah, okay. Did you know when Bill Clinton banned the assault weapons in 1994, mass shootings dropped by 43%? When W. Bush and the GOP let the ban expire in 2004, mass shootings increased by 245%. These numbers tell a story. Absolutely, I've already seen it. Absolutely, I've already seen this. Rewinding towards youth. You know, fuck Reddit's video player. I always have to look for a mirror. that's the lady from the Munsters or whatever. Let me see if I can find it on YouTube, because there's no mirrors here on Reddit. Yeah, I don't want to see sports shit. I need to see that again.
Just sit right.
Let's watch it again.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic port aboard this tiny ship. A millionaire and his wife, a movie star, the professor and Mary Ann.
Hey, she looked good.
A millionaire
Oy.
and his wife, a movie star, the professor and Mary
Yeah, she looked cutest there. Oh, that's Robert Englund. Xanadu. I'm only singing it because Roger the Alien sung it. Good job recognizing who the bad guys are. I mean, really low standard, but good job nonetheless. How to grow a spine. Ta! I love all that political Photoshop crap. Really bad quality Photoshop makes it so much funnier. You know, once upon a time, you could only see stuff like that in TV. And they would keep it kind of choppy and ridiculous looking because it added to the comedy factor. I mean, you could never imagine, you know, seeing it all over the place, or much less having the opportunity to get the software in Photoshop and edit photos yourself. Nobody ever thought that was possible. and now everybody does it. That was my favorite part of TV shows. TV shows like political shows and sketch comedy shows. The bad photoshops that they would show in the mini windows up here, like when they're doing the news broadcasts, they were almost funnier than what the comedian was talking about. And now everybody can Photoshop their own shit. And it's so awesome.
If it's not natural to breastfeed,
why is a dude sitting up there, especially a dude that couldn't get a worm wet, like Tucker Carlson? What the hell is he doing talking about women's biological functions? That shit needs to stop. Okay, I'll be right back. Oy. Oy, oy, oy. Which year was so painful that you will never forget it? With a smirk. Horrible use of background and emojis, but it is Facebook. Yeah. You're not kidding. Scissors. Cute. Oh, I love this. These guys are French comedians, and they made this music video where they dress like American cowboys. They dress like stereotypical American men, and they sing a song. And the song is like, it's about like fast food and all this shit. It's so funny. I love it. That's all they're doing is singing a fake country western song about like hot dogs and cheese dip. And it's so funny. I love it. Gonna see if it's on YouTube. I don't want real country. Oh yeah, apparently everyone's looking for it. Made a song about what it's like to be American. And who is this so I can properly look it up? Widespread Panic. That's what they're called. I don't think that's who they are. I don't know why you put this down here.
Hello, Ian.
Can I get some burger with some peanut butter? Do you think it's better with a Dr. Pepper?
Can I get some turkey? I need more proteins. Can I get some whiskey? I could drink a fontaine. Baby, I'm still hungry since this morning. I need egg, cheese, and pancakes.
Bacon, cheese, and pancakes.
Fried chicken, not a live chicken. I prefer fried chicken. Fried chicken inside my burger.
Fried chicken inside my burger. Ew. They're making me feel ill just by singing this.
Not a raw chicken because I love fried chicken. Fried chicken.
Baby, I just love the taste of the chicken wings.
I don't want a candy. I want beef, chips, rings, and burgers. Vegan people hate me because I love cheesecake and burgers.
I'm American, so you can blame me, but when I eat in your gourmet restaurant.
Mac and cheese, pizza, donut, waffle, Coca-Cola, Brazil, Taco Bell, nachos, tacos, peanut butter, ice cream, bacon, cheddar, fried cheddar.
Baby, I just love the taste of the chicken wings.
I don't want a candy.
out cheesecake, burgers, fried chicken. They must mention chicken wings like 5,000 times.
Americans, so you can blame me, but we're not eating your gourmet restaurant. The only French food I love is fries. I bring you to Burger King tonight. With the King Sundays from like tonight. Tomorrow we'll make it off of guys. Baby, I just love the taste of the chicken wings. I don't want candy, I want beef, chips, wings, and burgers. Vegan people hate me because I love cheesecakes and burgers. I'm American, so you can blame me, brother, when I eat in your gourmet restaurant.
Oh, they're called the Jones. The Joneses.
Long time no see.
Copyright nearly tricked me, but then I remembered I don't have an Apple ID. Verify your Apple ID. If this gets 100 likes, it's a face reveal. Okay. When you're a billionaire, doors open for you. Is that like, what's his name from Facebook? Zuckerberg? He can't open his own car door. And obviously that's not his SUV. Looks like a very common SUV, so that wouldn't be his. Celebrity armpits. You're a failure if you don't have a Lambo and 200K in your 20s. So basically another Tate wannabe. A woman who left Alabama to join ISIS says she felt broken after she was stripped of her U.S. citizenship. Crazy how the country you betrayed doesn't want you anymore. Well, to be fair, a lot of people that would matter have betrayed this country, and they run for president. Okay. At least they're aware they're pulling the race card here. The many reasons Forspoken is being hated on. Okay. Cocktails, anyone? Isn't that a health code violation? Gross. Power just died. No spoilers, please. People out here complaining about the new Velma like there wasn't a whole series where Scooby was a cyborg created by the military. Okay. %0 chance this wasn't on purpose. Holy shit. Okay. An interview to a bunny for the year of the rabbit. Aww. I want to see the little bunny.
Al verdadero protagonista.
I want to see the bunny.
Verdadero protagonista. Conejo, ¿cómo va a ser este año?
They're waiting for him to answer. Poor little bunny. Why is me at the zoo there? Okay. Not sure this is how bundled deals work. People are still buying Max Payne. Came to this conclusion after polling 1,000 people. The data is applicable to 260 million people. Okay? Alrighty. Redditor arguing there is no sexism, just so few women who actually have a stomach for the competition regarding gaming and global esports. Yeah. You keep dreaming, asshole. I'll say it right now. I don't play the types of games that they usually do in the competitions. I wish I did, because I'd wipe the floor with anybody. I just never really, well, recently I've gotten into a couple of shooting games, but growing up, it was all RPGs. It was all survival horror games. Then a friend got me into MechWarrior. And I'll put money on it, it's before this guy was born. You know, there should be competitions like boss fights at chosen default levels. Who can defeat the boss at the lowest doable level? You know, with the most party members alive. They did shit like that. I'd give you a run for your money. Ew. Yeah, right. You photoshopped that on there. So obvious. Aww. NASA's film studios. This is fake. Classic American. Okay. Person who feels entitled to other people's romantic affections. Baby was losing weight and vomiting. At the hospital, doctors discovered he was starving from an almond milk diet. Oh yeah. Racism is dead, right? This is what I was talking about. Apparently, this is a photo the New York Post has released of the kid who shot the teacher down south. And, of course, here come all the comments that are racist. I think I'll get into this later. But, you know, not just me, but a bunch of other people have had to rip a new asshole of some of these people in the comments. Nothing about the issue of guns, nothing about the issue of children with access to guns. It's all about the race of this kid. It's outstandingly ridiculous. All of these racist motherfuckers, now all of a sudden, they want harsh and swift consequences for the parents and the kid. They're calling for prison for a 6-year-old because he brought a gun to school. I thought you were totally in favor of guns. Nothing about this was said at all until this Post article came out. And you saw the kid was black, so you knew the parents were black. Now they're going completely apeshit about how there needs to be consequences for this shooting. It's just, it's enough to make you want to hang yourself. But that's for another time.